Good day, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Sweep. I'm your host, Anthony Longhair Leclair, and I'm joined by my fabulous co-host, the marvelous Marla, the mouse McHardy.
What's up, everybody?
So I have a question for you all. Did you know that on this day in 1958, Cliff Richard and the Shadows played their very first gig together at Victoria Hall in England?
I did not know that.
Well,
but now I do.
You know that, but did you know that actually it wasn't Cliff Richard and the Shadows at all?
No. What was it?
Because it was Cliff Richard and the Drifters.
Oh.
Who then became Cliff Richard and the Shadows. But they started out Cliff Richard and the Drifters. So...
I think that has a way better ring to it, though. Cliff Richard and the Drifters.
Yeah, and it makes it seem like the people in the band aren't as useless. Because it's like, it's Cliff Richard and the Shadows in the back there.
Yeah. Who
are doing all of this stuff but the singing. And also considering that Cliff Richard, at least when he started out, as I just showed you a video of, has a pretty hard time pronouncing words.
Yeah, well, we were watching that video and all he hears
like, I got Come On Pretty Baby, and then it was like, Come on Pretty Baby, high class lady. Like, that's
yeah, that's pretty much.
Check out High Class Lady, circa 1958. It's a doozy.
It's something.
Also, if you watch the way that he moves, you definitely see that Elvis was not the only guy moving this way.
No.
But also, we were talking about Cliff Richard there for a bit, about how he was one of the bigger deals in England just before the Beatles came out, and then, the Beatles came out. But you were saying some interesting facts as well.
Yeah, I was saying that, so, give me 1 second here.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry.
Get your research in order.
So yeah, I was saying that he sold more than 250 million records worldwide, which is crazy. And apparently his total sales were over 21 million singles in the UK. And that's just the UK. And he's the third top-selling artist in the UK behind the Beatles and Elvis Presley. So, good on you, Cliff.
Which is very interesting, because he was bigger, like he was like the big shot in the UK until the Beatles showed up. And his act is very much like Elvis Presley.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's interesting that he's third behind both of those groups.
Yeah.
Or that group and that person, rather.
Mm-hmm.
So that was on this day in 1958. Now, on this day in 2019, we got a treat.
Oh, yes, we do.
Or rather, we've got a treat for anyone who's really into deathcore metal. There is a band in the GTA. I don't mean in the Grand Theft Auto. I mean in the Greater Toronto area. For those of you who aren't from Canada who are listening, some people... no, I'm not even going to say what people call it these days.
Oh, please don't. It's going to make me cringe.
Some people have come up with a different name than the GTA for the Greater Toronto area because of the number of communities surrounding it, I guess. Either way, it's stupid. Just call it the GTA or call it fucking Toronto, because they're all a part of Toronto. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter where it is. It's Toronto.
Like, I'm sorry, Etobicoke, you're part of Toronto. It's just the way it is. Scarborough, you're a part of Toronto. It's
Mississauga, also Toronto.
It's just the way it is. Deal with it. Sorry, you're called Toronto. Anyway, so there's a band in the GTA that is in search of musicians. They're looking for bass, guitar, and drums. This is, considering what we just heard, not on the intro on this, but what Marla and I were just listening to previous to this, it makes me wonder if like the rest of the band just like abandoned this singer, because they have a fully produced song. The band is called The Mortal Wound, and have a lyric video for their song called Ferocity.
Either that or they got some session musicians to do some stuff.
Yeah, but it's a... Yeah.
Either way.
But it's a band in Toronto
looking for people on Facebook, so they
That's
probably
true.
didn't have the money to hire session musicians to do this.
Yeah.
But regardless, and when we listened to this, and maybe I did get it wrong, but I swear the song should be called The Mortal Wound, given the lyrics, which you may not be able to understand when we play you a sample of it right here, but, and the band should be called Ferocity, given that, just the way this is. Well, just check it out for yourselves. Yeah, so that's The Mortal Wound.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna put this out there. I'm not a huge listener of deathcore music. It's not something that's usually up my alleyway. I mean, I do like metal music, but I don't know, the screaming isn't always my cup of tea. But with that being said, so we watched the video that came along with this that they put out, so they had all the lyrics, so I was able to listen to the lyrics of the song, and holy shit, like, this song is lyrically brilliant. Like, the lyrics of this song are fucking awesome. Like, they have just, like, pieces of it where the guy is talking about, oh, like, I can't remember verbatim what the lyrics were, but it's something along the lines of, it's like, oh, we've forgotten what humanity means, but we were the ones who created it. And I'm like, damn, that's some seriously philosophical shit. I love it. It's great.
Yeah, they also go off on a bit about how now the only thing that we value are pieces of paper, which I assume they're talking about money, which is so true.
It is.
So considering it's a deathcore metal band, they're saying some fucking truth right there.
Oh yeah, no, this song is full of quite a few truth bombs.
Yeah, the only thing that I'd wish for, because instrumentally they're tight, the only thing that I'd wish is that I could make out, without having to look at the lyrics, what it is that the singer's saying. Talent, for sure, I can't fucking do that without burning my voice out. And there are higher screams, I don't know if it's the same singer or not, but there are higher screams as well later. Yeah. And they're, but like, woo, can't imagine doing that to my voice. And I know there's a certain skill to it that you can actually learn, so it doesn't wear as much. So yeah, those of you who want to play bass, guitar, or drums in a band like this, I encourage you to go to the Toronto local music page on Facebook and scroll down a bit. As of the recording of this episode, that post was made only an hour ago, so by the time this is up, it should be about 2 hours ago. Check them out. It's Gabe Vasalucci, I believe. Sorry if I've got that wrong. Regardless, do check out The Mortal Wound. Check out the full song if you're just into deathcore metal, because why not? And then look forward to this band starting up, or try and contribute and be a part of it. So, unless you have something else to add. She shrugged, by the way, because you can't hear the shrug. Okay, so
that's just about it for me. So,
all right, well, that's our daily sweep for today. We will be back tomorrow to sweep something out from under the proverbial rug. And until then, check out The Mortal Wound. Or, as they might say, The Mortal Wound! The Mortal Wound! And now, let the dulcet tones of Cliff Richard play us out.
So there were nothing on real country music that just drives along. A honey movie, a hair movie, a hair movie, a honey movie.
Yeah, like there's a certain way you can do it that doesn't fuck up your voice.
You just said what I just said in
I-
different words.
Yeah, I know. I
Okay.
realized that after I said it.
Okay.
You can cut that part out.
That's going at the end.
Okay.
So,